I may as well begin. We got a really nice one this morning. Um, it's a film from 1996, and it's called Supermarket Woman, or in Japanese, Super no Onna, which is it's quite a nice film. It's Japanese, so if you don't speak Japanese, find a copy that has subtitles. The film is almost entirely set in a supermarket in Japan. It was actually written and directed by Juzo Itami, who's quite an established, or was quite an established film director, and he wrote most of his own films. And he set this film almost entirely in a supermarket in Japan. And initially it shows a new supermarket opening up called Bargains Galore. And Goro, the owner of an already established supermarket, is surreptitiously taking a look around on the opening day of this new supermarket. And as Goro does this, he meets a lady he knew from school. And her name is Hanaku. And at first, she doesn't know that he owns a competing supermarket. She makes several observations from an experienced housewife's point of view on the way that Bargains Galore is trying to drum up customers by competing on price. And just for comparison, they go to Goro's supermarket, which is called Honest Goro, where she points out, and she still doesn't know that he owns this supermarket, she points out why Honest Goro will fail. And then Goro owns up to being the owner of the supermarket. Goro asks Hanako to help him. He gives her the job of head cashier, and she makes a few changes to help the customers, and she changes the way that the food is presented and packaged. And she doesn't want, for example, she doesn't want the old meat repackaged and then given a new sell-by date, which was one of their surreptitious practices that she doesn't like. She's a housewife, and she knows what other housewives want, so she basically is targeting people like her. She introduces what we would call a focus group to test new products and recipes. Those scenes are quite funny, actually. And customers, as a result, are on the increase. And she gets promoted. She annoys the store's butchers and fishmongers in the back rooms. It's a very large store, has its own butchery department and fishmongery department in the back room, and those people are described as the professionals, and they want to do things their way, and they clearly have no customer awareness, and they want to continue in their established ways. But she sees through all of that. She sees that it's just them. What's happened to my slides? It's just them, doing some kind of an ego trip. So the store manager at Honest Goro turns out to be taking bribes from Bargains Galore and feeding information from Honest Goro back to Bargains Galore, the new shop. And Goro has to please his shareholders, but also has to convince them that Hanako's ideas are the way to go, and that the supermarket will become one of the best in Japan instead of just ticking along close to failure. And at one point, the dishonest manager announces that he's leaving to move over to Bargains Galore, and is taking most of Honest Goro's staff with him. Hanako eventually persuades one or two of them to stay, and then a few more, until most of them decide to get behind Hanako's new direction and vision of the store. However, the head butcher secretly tries to steal all of the valuable meat in the shop's storage room, with carcasses and things, and he loads up a freezer van with these carcasses. Hanako tries to stop them, but is then locked in the freezer van as it drives off. Goro gives chase in a huge decorated HGV lorry in a vehicle chase around the city at night, while she's slowly losing consciousness due to the cold and no air. It's a very nice, endearing film, actually. If you get a chance, do watch it, because you'll feel good about, it's really nice. As I say, it's Japanese, so it's subtitles, but Supermarket Woman, 1996. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you very much. Goodbye.